Hello there, it's Scott Dikkers, live on YouTube and Facebook from How to Write Funny. And tonight I'm going to talk about how to get your comedy screenplay seen and read by someone who can do something with it, a producer, an agent, etc. First thing you want to do is don't send your first screenplay. So if you've written a screenplay and it's your first screenplay, don't send that to anyone. Give that to your friends. Let them give you feedback on it. If you have other friends who are writers or comedy writers, get their feedback on it. Don't send that to an agent or a development executive or anybody like that. The screenplay that you want someone to read is, at the very least, your fourth, fifth, or sixth screenplay. By then, you've gotten a little bit better at writing screenplays, and you've got something that's worthy of being seen. Writing screenplays is one of the most difficult things there is to do in the comedy sphere. There are so many conventions and tropes and knowledge of genre that you need to really nail it. Wait till you've written, at least that many screenplays. And then there's a few things you can do to get it seen by someone. Number one, you can enter it in screenplay contests. The vast majority of screenplays that are written are terrible. They don't have compelling characters. They don't have good stories. They fall apart in the first page. In a best case scenario, in the first 5 or 10 pages. So if your screenplay is good, and if you've written 6 of them, and you've read all the screenplay books, and you've read other screenplays, and you've gotten good feedback, your screenplay is probably well above average. And by all means, get some tips out of my How to Write Funny books on how to develop characters and how to tell a story. The second book, How to Write Funnier, particularly goes into some detail on longer form stories. You're going to be in pretty good shape. Once you have a script that is of that quality, that's when you want to send it to a screenplay contest, because it really won't take much for you to rise to the top, like 5 or 6 screenplays. Because like I said, all the other screenplays written are terrible. So you're going to stand out if you're even halfway competent. Now, screenplay contests are actually a really good way to get seen by agents and producers, because they watch those things and they're going to see who's winning first, second, third place. People in Hollywood are ravenous for a good screenplay. It's not just the amateurs who write bad screenplays. Professionals write bad screenplays. I was being offered directing jobs when I first started making movies, and they would send me these scripts by top screenwriters in Hollywood. Screenwriters who make movies that make billions of dollars. And the scripts were god-awful. You look at them and you're like, I can't make this, I can't shoot this, there's nothing here, this is awful. So the idea of a good screenplay is sort of like the holy grail in Hollywood. So again, if you have even one that's halfway decent, if someone looks at it and says, hey, I can do some tweaks, I can bring in a couple of writers to whip this into shape, like if it has the general structure and the general log line, the high concept, characters that they know they can get actors for, it's going to be, you're going to have pretty good luck getting it seen. So contest is one thing. Second thing is contact the major talent agencies, even the minor talent agencies, and ask them which of their agents accept unsolicited submissions. And to answer your question, Hugh, yeah, it's a great idea to write pilots. TV pilots are kind of more popular right now among comedy writers to write. I think everybody should have a TV pilot in their portfolio, and they should have a screenplay in their portfolio, because you never know when you're going to get an opportunity to sell one or the other. You need to be prepared. But back to screenplays. contact the agencies and ask them, which of your agents, do you have any junior agents who are accepting unsolicited submissions, whatever, and send them your screenplay and have them look at it. There are agents who will do that. Now, chances are they'll have some lower person read it and give them coverage, but that's fine. At least you're getting an opinion on your screenplay. The third way to get someone to look at your screenplay is to make it yourself. This is an excellent method. So I did this for my first screenplay. I made it into a movie, and when you make a movie, you're of a different caliber than all the other filmmakers. You get your movie in festivals, people show up at festivals, agents, producers, etc., and they want to meet with you. And if they like your movie, and if your movie does well, they ask you, like, what else have you got, or whatever. And a lot of these filmmakers, they'll sell their script of their independent film, and Hollywood will make it as a mainstream film. Happens all the time. Happened with that famous Meet the Parents movie with Robert De Niro and Ben, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Ben Stiller. And a lot of people don't know that movie was an independent film shot in Chicago, made for a few $100,000, maybe less. And a big Hollywood studio picked it up and they made it anew. Could that filmmaker have gotten his script seen by someone in Hollywood if he hadn't made that movie? Probably not. Probably not. It's just a good way. It's like sending up a flare when you actually produce the movie. So those are my 3 suggestions for how to get your screenplay seen. But the first bit of advice I had at the beginning, very important, wait till you've got around 6 screenplays before you start sending one out. Because it's a craft, you have to learn, you have to practice at it to get good at it. Nobody's going to get good, nobody's going to write an amazing screenplay on their first try. So please don't even think that you've done that. It's just not, it's not a thing that happens. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. For more comedy tips, you can go to howtowritefunny.com. And, how much money raised for film needed? Nowadays, it's foolhardy to raise anything more than a couple $1,000 to make a film. You can make a film for, $2,000 on your iPhone, and that's how you should make your movie. Don't put any money into production value for your film. It's not worth it. People are looking at the story. At the independent level, they're just looking at the story. It's like a calling card for a screenplay is what an independent film is. It's not meant to dazzle anybody. It's certainly not going to impress anyone with its production value, so don't even try. This is a big mistake people make too. Like, I made my movie for around $40,000, $50,000, my first movie. And that was high. Like, if I could have squeezed it into a smaller budget, I would have, but I didn't really know a lot at the time. So Robert Rodriguez had it right. He made his movie for $2,000. Perfect. Like, that's exactly the ballpark you want to be in. So, yeah, check out How to Write Funny for more tips on writing screenplays, writing TV pilots, writing any kind of comedy. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, hit the like button. That helps support the channel and helps me produce more videos. Thanks for the questions, guys. Any thoughts on festival circuits for films? What they're looking for? The festivals are looking for good films of any genre. Certain festivals are going to favor other genres, certain genres over others. But there are so many film festivals, and you kind of want to hit the big ones first because chances are you're not going to get in there. But if you do get in there, they're going to want to be the first. So you kind of have to hit, Sundance type festivals first, and then once you get rejected there, which you most likely will, then you go to the second tier festivals, like the Long Beach Festival or whatever, and you sort of work your way down. And yeah, that's it's a whole world. Like, making independent films is a whole world. And the thing is, if you start making a movie, you'll learn that world. Like, there's only so much knowledge you can gain about making an independent film before you actually make it. You kind of have to just dive in. because you'll pick things up. And when you're making a film, like, you become kind of a moving train and like a rolling snowball. Is there a list of festivals someplace? I would just Google film festivals. Yeah, I had a book a long time ago that listed the major film festivals. You know, that was before the internet, so I wouldn't trust a printed book. There are probably some really good sites that list good festivals, and there are probably sites that list the entry fees and everything else. Yeah, Sean, you're correct. A database film freeway, yes. IMDb maybe even has something like that. So, well, good luck to you if you're working on a comedy screenplay. I hope this advice has been helpful. And if you're going to make your independent film, also, I wish you the best of luck. Please get Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a Crew, before you make your film. And don't go to film school, because that'll cost you a lot of money when you can get all the knowledge you need from Robert Rodriguez's book, which will cost you about $10. So I believe that if I'm catching you at the right juncture of your life, I've just saved your parents $200,000. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.